Finally take his final warm-up throw. Ryan Carter, the catcher, with the throw down, and we've got American Legion Post 31 baseball action for you on PEGTV Channel 15 Public Access Sports as Woodstock Post 24 coming to St. Peter's Field on a night that has very ominous skies, a very foreboding forecast, and we can expect rain any second, according to the weatherman, and also possibility of a thunder shower. So hopefully we'll be able to get this seven-inning game in. These two teams did play earlier in Woodstock. That was a 5-inning game that was shortened because of the mercy rule. Andrew Wetzel, John Fierro, and Dustin Wardwell do up against Mike Sorelli, and I'll do the rest of that Post 31 defense for you in a second. I'll let this first pitch come across the plate, and this ball game is officially underway. That'll get away from Mike, I hope. And that'll be a ball one. You have at first base Zach Aquista-Pace, at second base defensively Matt Merritt. Chad Ryan is your shortstop for Post 31. Jeff Bloomer getting the start at third base. I've already mentioned Ryan Carter behind the plate, Mike Sorelli on the mound. The outfield has Mike Serino in left field, Rob Dorian in center, and Joe Rodolfi is your right fielder. And he got him. Yeah, hit him on the helmet, and they will make sure he's okay. So two pitches that stayed inside and got away, and they'll hit the batter, and Sorelli very upset with himself. Of course that was not intentional. Yeah, so a hit batter will put Wetzel on first base. Fierro is going to be the pitcher. So Ferrero at the plate and Dustin Wardwell on deck. And right now they're just making sure that Wetzel was okay to go to first base. A couple inside pitches. Yeah, got him right in the... Could hear the hit of the helmet, and he's down at first base. Appears to be okay. Yeah, they're batting out of order. Yeah, but they announced it. Now, I don't know what the penalty or how that reads, but it should be Fierro coming up. Wardwell bats number 3. He was at the plate early. And Woodstock, with a lot of disorganization over there as far as the batting order goes, getting the right people up at the plate. Okay, so we're good to go. We got the right people at the plate, and Sorelli from the stretch is, boy, up inside again on that. That's 3 pitches now up inside. Mike's starting to talk to himself, and we're only in the first inning, the second batter. And there are no small steps on the way to the playoffs, and this game is as big as any game on the horizon right now. Woodstock and Rutland, and right now Rutland behind Brattleboro and Fairhaven in the standings, with games coming up in Castleton, but that's Fairhaven's home field. And then hopefully they'll end the season here, weather permitting, if they'll ever get the game in, a doubleheader with Brattleboro. So can't look past this game to those games right here. Woodstock with the runner at first base. Nobody out, top of the first. And again, a lot of this ball game tonight is going to depend on Mother Nature. Now we'll have a 2-2 count. On deck is Dustin Wardwell, and Alex LaFlamme is the cleanup batter for Woodstock. Once came back with the breaking ball and missed low and missed inside, and he'll run it now to a full count. So he's hit a batter, come close the second time, and has a full count right now on Fierro. And that will be popped up down the third base side, and Bloomer giving chase. No, it's going to be in the bleachers. So Jeff Bloomer, the third baseman, good hustle play, but he'll come back and get set, and that just will hold the count now at 3 balls, 2 strikes. I know it's probably too late, but I got to say it anyways. Just all season long, they promoted to me from the Legion dugout that Windsor's cancellation game was going to be made up here as a doubleheader on the 26th. Strike 3 looking. He'll get strike 3 looking for the first out. But I just made aware of it tonight that they've changed their mind, and now that doubleheader will be in Windsor. So don't show up at the field here the 26th, even though I told you all season to do that. They are going to Windsor for the doubleheader. That's where the tournament's being played, and they want to be on that field a couple times, get used to it in case they do make it to the tournament. So just sucks being the last to know. That's all. Good fastball right there from Sorelli for a swinging strike. Yeah, this is Wardwell right here with LaFlamme on deck, and then Wemple. Woodstock got the leadoff batter on. He got whacked in the helmet on an inside pitch. And that is popped up. Matt Merritt settling in underneath it. Will make the grab on the first base side of the second base bag. That's 2 down now, and it's really seeming to settle down here. So again, big games coming up. Windsor's a hot club right now. They came off a big win where they defeated Fairhaven in extra innings and find themselves at 8-6 in the league. And again, a lot of teams right on that edge. And that is hit deep. That's hit far. Sereno on the wall. Sereno home run. 2-run homer with 2 down. And just like that, the 1-win Woodstock squad, post 24, will take a 2-0 lead. And you can see him touching them all as he will have a 2-run homer. And that was LaFlamme, who left the yard, brought around Wetzel, who got hit by the pitch, and Luke Wemple up now. So 2-0 Woodstock. Okay, so I don't know what's going on here, but they see lightning?
Missed home or something.
Oh, they missed a base. Okay, so let me try to figure out what's going on here. So will any of the runs count? Okay, so the best I can tell, Woodstock's extremely upset. Yeah. Yeah, what they're saying. Yeah, so what happened? He missed home base. So that takes away the runs, and I've never seen that before on a home run. Yep.
I need your help.
Okay, let me fade down. So no runs are scored, home runs are raced, and he missed home base. Like CSI and all those figure it out mystery type shows, you got one right here. A play I've never seen before is a home run. Apparently, it was a home run. It was hit over the wall, the left field wall. Looked like 2 runs came in, and okay, so let me go back to my book. The gentleman that hit the home run, Alex LaFlamme, missed home base coming in to, finish his home run trot and get in a celebration. And that's not an automatic call. Somebody had to ask for that. It had to be appealed. It's a dead ball appeal. So either the catcher, Ryan Carter, or the pitcher, Mike Sorelli, saw it, asked for it, got the appeal. The first run scored. The first runner touched home base. The guy was hit by the pitch on first base. He scored. That counts. But the man coming in on the end of that, the guy hit the home run, LaFlamme, his run does not count. And just when you think you've seen it all, what a wild start to the game. Sorelli high to the first batter, hit him in the helmet. Not intentionally, anything, just wild. Then he settled down, got the next 2 outs. And then LaFlamme came up and hit a ball over the left field wall. It cleared it quite well. Hit it out to the bleachers section. It was a good home run, nice looking home run. But I've never seen a guy on a home run not touch home base at any level. And you can see they're still discussing it over here. Now he's saying, right there, he's saying he saw lightning now. So if it's lightning, we'll get a 30-minute delay. Because he's pointing to the sky. Or he's still arguing. No, he's still calling the play at the plate. Okay. Because I've got my eye open for lightning, but they're still arguing the play. But there's really not a lot to argue there. I mean, even if the umpire sees it, he cannot make he has to be asked for the appeal. See, I'll zoom in. I know I'm pixelated. But right now you can see them arguing over the call. What appeared to be a 2-run homer. Well, it was a 2-run homer. The ball's, then the guy who hit the home run, LaFlamme, didn't touch home base, they're saying. And now they're asking if it's even appealable. So the umpires getting put right stretched out to the test here today. Yeah, at some point now they got to stop arguing. Yeah, the fans are getting a little unruly. They want to play ball, and I agree. At some point, you either stop arguing or you get ejected. Right, and it's a very dark night, and they're right. The call was made. The call's a call. He argued once. Now it's over. Now he's got to either hang it up or get booted. I mean, this is... Yeah, see, this is the umpire's fault now. He's let this go on way too long, the argument. The call was made. I mean, it's a very blunt call. Either he missed home base or he didn't. The call was made, he did. There's not a lot to argue there. It's time to move on. It is a strange play, I'll give him that. I've never seen that. I've seen all kinds of situations where bases have been missed, but not on a pure over-the-wall home run. Just got to go around, touch them off, touch all the bases, and that's it. And all I can think of, and I'm not judging the young man, is that he came in, was ready to do the jump on home base, and gets surrounded by his teammates, and he just missed the base or the plate. As Darren Carter corrected me in the Proctor Youth League Championship tournament, it's home plate. So, okay, so we're back to baseball. It's 1-0. The first run does count. The first runner does count. And this is Rob Dorian, Chad Ryan, and Aaron Bloomer due up. So, man, you've already had a ball game, just a half an inning, all kinds of action, all kinds of stuff happening. That's going to be hit down to third base. And they called it, somebody hollered foul, and yeah, it is. So Rob's going to go back to home plate and get set here to swing again. So, wow, just when you thought we were going to have a sleeper, we got a dandy of a game. And again, low cloud cover tonight and thunder showers in the forecast. Lots of rain coming. Getting dark already. We're only in the bottom of the first. Two teams played in Woodstock. It was a 5-inning mercy rule. I believe it was 12-0 that game. That's a little squibber. It'll be picked up, throw to first, and they'll get the out. So there's one out now. And I should probably tell you the defense for Woodstock out there. That's John Ferrero out there pitching. Alex Aflam, who was a young man, hit the home run and missed home base. Coming around is the catcher. Luke Wemples at first. Brian Martin's at second. Galen Foley's your shortstop. Dustin Wardwell's at third. Andrew Wetzel's in left. Alan Clark in center. And Alex McCarthy in right field. And that will be a foul ball by Chad Ryan and out of play. So all kinds of neat stuff. And also the Windsor doubleheader is now in Windsor on the 26th. That's going to be towards second. Through the hole, he'll have a base hit. And Chad Ryan's been getting a lot of base hits from that number 2 spot in the lineup this season. And that puts him in a position now to get the running game going for Coach Tony Sorelli. Yeah, now Aaron Bloomer, who's the DH tonight, he'll step up there, the runner at first. Well, at first right now, and again, there is no game that isn't critical at this point in the season. Every game is critical. As far as I've never seen a season in 7 or 8 years where so many teams are basically after this weekend. Anybody could end up in first, second, third, or fourth. There's that many, 6, 7 teams really in the hunt with mathematical chances. There goes Ryan, and boy, he picked a good pitch to run on, and he'll be in there easily ahead of the throw. So Chad Ryan will end up at second base, and most of his singles turn into doubles like that with a stolen base. Pitch was high and inside, and the throw down from the catcher, LaFlamme, also sailed to the shortstop side of the base. So Bloomer at the plate, Ryan Carter on deck, and boy, what a rip he had at that one. That will go back for a strike on the foul ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, 1-0 Woodstock. And I can't even begin to tell you how to score that play that the runner missed home base on. I just wrote out in my book. And man, I'm not sure where that missed, but Woodstock's agitated, that's for certain. They agitated over the call, they're agitated over the not called a strike right there. 2-2 the count, and it was a very close pitch. And that's actually a different number from the pitcher that they gave me. So it's a strange night. I'll go with Ferraro for now because I don't know any better. And boy, I tell you, close pitches, but he'll take them for ball 4. Yeah, now Ryan Carter up with 2 on, 1 out. First and second for the catcher, Ryan Carter. And speaking, good spot, right hitter. This is it right here. You got a good power hitter up there, good contact hitter. And I would be surprised. I mean, I'm sure they don't want to have to throw him the fastballs with runners at first and second, but he's going to see fastballs. And that one right there was a fastball. It'll be strike 1 at the belt. And again, just want to say, St. Peter's Field in beautiful condition as always. And he came back with the breaking ball, got away from the catcher. Runners will move up to second and third. And I honestly got to tell you, I would call that if I was scoring at home. First of all, I'd be embarrassed to be sitting in the living room scoring the Legion game on tape delay, but I'd call that a pass ball more than a wild pitch. So Carter now with an 0-2 count. And that will fade outside, and they'll go to a 1-2. Good eye by Ryan Carter. And like I said, tough finish to the season for Post 31. Tough competition. And that breaking ball stayed inside and wrapped itself around the plate, but never hit the corner, and that'll be ball 2. Yeah, a road game to Castleton College to play number 1 seeded Fairhaven right now. A team that beat Post 31 here 1-0. In a game where the only run was scored on a balk, and that's going to be off from the glove, and he'll stay alive. That was a tough play, and over the shoulder catch, running full throttle, and the ball was dropped over there, so he'll get another life. That was Wemple that was giving it the good effort, and we'll stay with the 2-2 count. So yeah, they have today's Tuesday. Thursday they head to Castleton for a game with Fairhaven. Saturday doubleheader with Windsor, a team that's been playing much better as of late and in the playoff hunt. So both teams will be hungry. And then Bellows Falls, who's looking for a playoff. There's the curveball, swinging strike 3. 2 down now, 2 on, and Jeff Bloomer, the third baseman, up. Yeah, so Bellows Falls will be a 9-inning game, and then they're looking for that makeup doubleheader on the next day, Monday, against Brattleboro. So, man, there's going to be a big crunch on the pitching supply. Lots of important games crunched in a very small space, and there's a strike. So Ferraro trying to get out of a first inning jam where he's had runners at second and third with less than 2 down. He's got the 2 outs now. And Woodstock with the 1-0 lead. And that's got a chance to carry to the wall, and it's gonna carry to the wall. That's gonna give Rutland the 2-1 lead, and sliding in with 2 RBIs on that double is Bloomer. Yeah, Zach Acquista pace up, and so Bloomer going to the opposite field, finding the gap, and he had the right fielder McCarthy kind of played the ball awkwardly by turning a couple different times, looking over his shoulder for it. And the ball actually looked like it went off from his glove, but it becomes a 2-1 score now, and that's going to be to first base. It'll be grabbed, bobbled, and flipped, and he'll get it. That'll be the out, but Rutland will come back and have a 2-1 lead going in the top of the second over Woodstock Post 24 on Munger Vision. Kind of filling some more of the pieces on that bizarre play in the top of the first. It was the catcher, Ryan Carter, that asked for the appeal, that watched, and that's, it's one of the jobs behind the plate. You don't think of that because it's home run, you think it's automatic, but he asked for the appeal, and very, very smartly so, and there's a strike from Sorelli. Wemple at the plate. Luke Wemple's the first baseman, so in a 2-1 game, we're in the top of the second, scheduled for 7. And strike 2. But, No, as far as I can see the initial shock of the call upsetting the players and the coach for Woodstock. Absolutely. Just the initial shock. And he went around 3 pitches and a strikeout. Second strikeout of the game for Sorelli. Now Alan Foley up to DH. I'm sorry, that's Abe Allen. Abe Allen up to DH. He's hitting for Foley. But then when he prolonged the argument into the next between innings section, I mean, that's not like a check swing where it's a judgmental call and you can kind of disagree with his interpretation of it. It's a black and white call. They asked for an appeal, said he missed home base. They got the ball in, they touched the bag. Umpire called him out. There's really not a lot of wiggle room there. And strike 2. I'll tell you what I like, Sorelli stopped messing around. He's just throwing fastballs right now, and he's kind of found a rhythm after getting off to a bizarre start to the ball game. And that is going to be playable. Matt Merritt will settle underneath it and make the grab. So Matt Merritt with a couple putouts here early in the ball game, and Matt Merritt's been playing very solid this year for post 31. Not only in the field, but he's been getting a lot of key hits in the 8th or 9th spot of the order wherever they plug him in. Now Alex McCarthy up. So Sorelli looking for a 1-2-3 second. I think each team could use this. Yeah, I remember he started the ball game off with a little chin music to Andrew Wetzel, then came back and again came up high inside and popped him in the helmet. Totally unintentional. That's going to be bunted to Sorelli. He'll skip, throw, and got a 1-2-3 inning. So it'll stay 2-1 Rutland going in the bottom of the second over Woodstock. So speak of the guy I was speaking about, Mike Sorelli up. I was talking about he hit the first batter he faced. Then he kind of settled down a little bit and seemed to be going on his way to stranding that runner. He'll miss that pitch. I don't believe that was fouled. It was just off the catcher. He was having a little problem behind the plate. LaFlamme is with the ball down. He's had a pass ball in that ball there. I mean, it was harmless there, but I don't believe that was fouled. But, yeah, and then on his way to the third out, he came up a home run or the left field wall. Strike 2 on the swing. And that's when everything kind of got exciting at that point. The hitter for Woodstock came around and missed touching home plate. And on the appeal plate was called out. And the run that came in ahead of him that he drove in does count. Then we had a brief, not like a Lou Piniella argument, more like a Terry Francona argument between the umpire and the Woodstock coach. And it's an important game for Rutland. I mean, Woodstock is mathematically out of the chase for the playoff spot, but Rutland would be devastated here in the standings with a loss to Woodstock. Oh, and that's a shot. That is a shot, and that is going to be off the base of the wall. And Sorelli, whose bat's really been coming to life, is going to go to third base. He'll turn the corner, and they're telling him to get down, and that's going to be backed up nicely. So he'll have a triple. That is just, again, he's had a bunch of doubles lately, and now a triple to add to that. And there was no doubt about it. He had a full extension of the arms. The pitch was on the outside corner down low. He just was able to just go to the opposite gap, the right center field gap, and with nobody down, runner at third base, Joe Rodolfi up, a lefty. He's the right fielder. He bats left-handed. He's also one of the pitchers on this Rutland staff, and I'm sure he's going to be seeing some action in the next 4 or 5 days with all those games coming up. And it's going to be fouled out of play over towards River Street, and I think it went on to River Street. I just hope the rain holds off so they get the game in, just because everybody's schedule, not just Rutland's, but everybody's schedule, getting real cramped up and destroyed by all this wet weather. So Ferraro, the pitcher, will skip that one in there, and boy, his balance awful as he came falling off the mound. LaFlamme, the catcher, Wempel's at first, Martin's at second defensively, Foley is the shortstop, Wardwell's at third, Wetzel, Clark, and McCarthy the outfield. That's the Woodstock post 24 squad. And again, score goes 2-1. Rutland with the lead in the bottom of the second. Their leadoff batter, Mike Sorelli, with a triple, and it's going to be fouled again. So Rodolfi to be followed by Merritt. And then top of the order, Dorian as your DHing with Bloomer. He's hitting for Mike Sereno. And actually, if you look, there's a lot of nice blue sky over toward Lake Bomazine. We might get a break tonight and not get any of that crappy weather till tomorrow when we all head to work. Boy, you talk about going up the ladder. He went up after a floater of a breaking ball. Now, I was told by Mike Sorelli in the warm-ups he's going to throw 2 innings, and it looks like that's Chad Ryan now in the dugout, in a bullpen. So there's possibility we'll see Chad Ryan pitch the 3rd inning for Rutland, and then the 4th. And that could be playable. That's in a tough spot, and it's going to drop in between the shortstop and the left fielder, and the throw will come all the way through, and that was a mistake right there. See, it's little things like that that make a difference in a 1-9 team and a playoff team. There was no need to throw the ball through because that allowed Rodolfi to take second base. They didn't have a chance at getting the runner at home. If you bring in the cutoff, then Rodolfi stays out of scoring position at first base. Or at least that's the way I saw it. So So Rodolfi will have an RBI. That'll make it 3-1 Rutland. Now Rob Dorian up. He grounded out to the pitcher Ferraro. So back from the stretch, and Rodolfi with a very healthy lead. Well, if I had to judge, I'd say he was probably at the halfway point between second and third. Or close to it, maybe 40% of the way there. And well, that again, that's just in a tough spot to catch, and that might drop in. And I'm waiting for the call. Foul ball. Yeah. So they will send Matt Merritt back to home plate. Again, this will be a good chance to thank some people. I'd like to thank the American Legion Post 31 for allowing me to videotape the games, put them on public access television. It's I know I'll get a lot of feedback from the community that the people that come appreciate to come and see the games, but the people that can't make it love to follow Legion baseball, and it's very convenient for them now to either watch it on Channel 15 or go to the website PEGTV.com and watch it on the computer. That'll be a foul ball. I also like to thank Darren Carter for giving me a call this year and let me go out and videotape the championship game at the Proctor Youth Baseball All-Star Tournament, and that was won by Woodstock over Polteny in a very exciting game. Good crowd on hand. Always a well-managed, well-organized event over there in Proctor. And again, that was a very catchable ball by the cat. I mean, and I don't see where that's a wild pitch. And again, my book is always unofficial, but I have that unofficially 3 pass balls now on LaFlamme. So he had a problem seeing home plate to tag up, and he's having a problem catching the ball right now. So it actually might be he needs an eye exam more than anything. That's going to be through the hole and an RBI for Matt Merritt. Now score Rodolfi. Couple things right there. That's for taking second base on the throw to the plate. Allowed Rodolfi to get in a position to score on that base hit. Now top of the order, Rob Dorian up. Like I said, he had grounded out to the pitcher Ferraro. Now none of these, other than Sorelli's hit, none of these hits have been mammoth shots, crushing where you'd be thinking about taking the pitcher out. And there's a strike. Good pitch. Fastball inside corner. Merritt also, everybody's greenlit to go on the base pass here, and I'd be very surprised if, see, I don't ever gauge weak competition or good competition. I mean, I play full throttle all the time, and that's going to be an error over at first base. That ball is in play. They're going to send the runner Merritt to third, and he's going to hold up at third. So again, I'm not really sure if it's the skylight or the lighting, but a lot of just missed throws here. I mean, I'm going to unofficially go with an error on a first baseman. So Chad Ryan out of the bullpen warming up because he's coming in to pitch next inning. He's going to be up there with runners at the corners in a 4-1 game, and we've had a lot of bizarre plays already in just a short period of time. Never seen it before. A hitter hit a batter, hit a home run over the wall, and then missed home plate, and they appealed it, tagged the plate, and he was out, and they erased the run and called him out. It was awesome. For a Rutland fan, it was awesome. We've had a triple hit by Mike Sorelli, a batter hit by Mike Sorelli. He's been in everything tonight. We've had 3 pass balls on the Woodstock catcher, a missed throw to first base on a ground out. And I think the sky's clearing up to the, I'm not a Boy Scout, but I think that's the west. And I think we'll get this whole thing in. So Ferraro taking a long time between pitches. Man, that's bunting in self-defense right there. That pitch came in, and he basically in the batter's box, ball, him, and everything were to go as a foul ball. We'll have an 0-2 count. So 4-1 Rutland after they briefly trailed 1-0 after half inning, which you would trail it because you haven't been at the plate yet to bat. But and again, no games that are not important on their way to trying to qualify for the playoffs. Every game's big. Like I said, this is one of the. Well, there goes the runner, and the throw is high, and they'll fake the throw down. They'll concede the base to Dorian. Aaron Bloomer on deck for Rutland. Merritt at third, Dorian at second, and nobody down here in the bottom of the second. And John Ferraro was high right there. And the catcher, again, just looks so unsure of himself, coming up out of the crouch and kind of blocking the umpire's view, then double clutched with it. Ferraro. That's a good, number one location was good. Outside corner, gets Chad Ryan on the swing. And that is the second strikeout of the ball game for Ferraro. He got a strikeout in the first. Now Bloomer up. He walked back in the first inning, got stranded at second, and he's got runners at second and third right now with just the one out. And he went up after that, and that'll go into the screen, come straight down. Rutland without the services of T.J. Oliver this weekend, very important part of the team, and is unavailable. And I'm just trying to think of when they told me. I think they said Monday he would be back. Now, I don't know the team rules as far as if you'd have to sit a game out in that Brattleboro doubleheader or how that would work, but that's going to be put to the second baseman, and he'll charge, turn, fire, and get the out. A run will score. Merritt will come across with the fifth run of the ball game for Rutland. They'll take that 5-1 lead now. And Ryan Carter up. It was Carter who was the other strikeout. He struck out in the first on a breaking ball on the outside corner. So Carter coming up now with 2 down, and that will put Jeff Bloomer in the on-deck circle. When the two teams played earlier this year up in Woodstock, it was a 12-0 5-inning mercy rule game in favor of Post 31. And in all fairness to the pitcher Ferraro, should be out of the inning by now. There's been some mistakes made behind him that have extended this well beyond what it should have gone in this inning for him. And that fastball would be way below the knee, and we'll have a 1-1 count now. Again, our website for Channel 15 is www.pegtv.com. They added a new feature this past January. You can go to the website, click on Video on Demand, and watch events right there on your computer. Whether it be sports or a talk show or a parade or whatever it is, you can just, if you don't have Comcast and you don't have Channel 15, which is unthinkable, but if you don't have it, you can always watch the programming now on your computer. You can also still go the old-fashioned way to Channel 15 on the television. That is popped up in the air a mile, and boy, he's got to start making some ground up coming in, and he'll make the catch. It'll be the third out. Rutland with the little more cushion on that lead. We're at 5-1. Post 31 will lead over Woodstock heading into the top of the third inning. We'll have a new pitcher on the mound for Rutland. Chad Ryan is the new pitcher as we start the third inning, and as usual, I'm completely wrong. I don't know if you've seen the background. There's some umbrellas out, so that forecast of being okay for the game was incorrect. It's sprinkling out right now, and that's why it's very important for Rutland to get the lead back also. Carter remains behind the plate, and it looks like everybody else defensively with a Quista base at first, Merritt at second. Sorelli will move to shortstop. Bloomer, that's Jeff Bloomer, he'll go at third base. That'll be the infield defensively for Post 31. At the plate for Woodstock will be Alan Clark, the center fielder. Joe Rodolfi's in right field. Rob Dorian's in center. And I need glasses. That's Mike Sereno out there in left field. Yeah, and he'll miss there with ball 2. So the scoring on that play, that missed home base, was a triple with a put-out going to the catcher and an RBI. I've had the great fortune, there's a strike called, of having Glenn Carter here when it all started to explain to me what was going on, and then Rick Battles came up and he gave me the final analysis of that play, so I'll be able to explain it to you. So yeah, I hope, it's the first time I ever saw that. I don't know if the 7 or 8 viewers watching this ball game will have ever seen that before, but just think, if you are one of the 7 or 8 people watching public access, you got to see somebody miss home base for the first time ever on a home run. It cleared the left field wall and went almost to the end zone bleachers, the home run. I mean, it was a legitimate home run. So after tonight, Rutland with games against Fairhaven in Castleton, on the road doubleheader against Windsor, back here for Bellows Falls, and back here again for a doubleheader against Brattleboro. All key ball games. And good defensive swing with 2 strikes. Got fooled on a curveball, was able to hold back just long enough to follow it off and stay alive. Good job right there by the center fielder Alan Clark. Brian Martin on deck. He also represents the number 9 batter in the order, and then top of the order coming up for Woodstock. So again, it appeared they were going to take a 2-0 lead, only to set off a bizarre chain of events for the rest of that inning. And Chad Ryan will miss. Make it a full count now on the first batter he's faced on the evening. And it's hard to believe we're talking about the last week of Legion baseball before the tournament starts. I tell you what, the season flew by. It's been a hot and a wet season, and there'll be ball 4. Oh, and I tell you, I'm not a. First of all, I don't like summer. I don't like the heat and humidity. And people say, "Why you live in Vermont?" To people who don't, I don't mind the cold, but people who don't like the cold, they're always like, "Why you live in Vermont?" People, it's only cold here 3-4 months out of the year. The rest of the time, it's either soggy, wet, muddy, or so hot and humid. You should be in a tribe in a rainforest somewhere wearing a loincloth, for God's sakes. But it's been a wet year. It was a wet, wet winter, a wet, wet spring, and it's been a wet, wet summer. And it sucks. So Chad Ryan trying to find his rhythm here against Brian Martin. Oh, and good job by Carter behind the plate, able to knock the ball down, keep it in front of him. And again, if you've never seen Ryan's arm with the throw down to second base, or any base, but especially second base, very, very strong, very, very accurate. Yeah, and they're going to have a talk with Chad Ryan. This is Coach. Well, it's a coach. I can't see if that's Tony or Briggs or George Bennett. Well, that's a good time for you to mention the coaching staff for you as they have a meeting on the mound. That looks like Tony. That's Coach Sorelli out there talking. Your team managers are Ron Fairbanks. Assistant coaches are George Bennett, Jamie Briggs, and head coach Tony Sorelli. They've all done a fine job with the team this year. But yeah, they don't want to prolong this. They want to get in and out tonight, least amount of innings possible, and try to save as many innings possible. That's why they're throwing everybody for 2 innings right now, just trying to get through the game, win the game, and conserve innings for all that crunched up schedule coming up with clumps of big games coming up. Pitching is going to be just put to the max. So a 2-0 count. He's already walked 1 batter, and there is a generous strike to make it a 2-1 count. Rutland get a lot of home cooking tonight, and it has to happen occasionally. Yep. That could be a double play. Matt Merritt's been a double play machine this year. There's 1, and Sorelli will hold it. Yeah, and that's going to be held long enough. He's exchanging it from the glove to the hand, the ball, when it popped out. So they'll get the force out. The ball really wasn't hit that hard as far as being able to get a double play. So with 1 out, 1 on, we'll have Andrew Wetzel up, and he was hit by a pitch and scored on what appeared to be a home run at first. It ended up being a triple and a put out for the catcher. So we're in the 3rd scheduled for 7. And Chad Ryan, the new pitcher. And Brian Martin being held on defensively over there at first base by Zach Aquistapace. Now I know, talking to Zach in his last start, which was the win here over Chester, Vermont, Chester Post 67, he said he was pitching again against Windsor, whether it was game 1 or game 2 of the doubleheader, but he'll be one of the pitchers on Saturday's road game. A little thrower to first, and everybody's back safe. He's got a much better move than that. He's just kind of... It's different, too, coming in relief as opposed to starting the game. And Chad obviously feels much more comfortable starting the game than coming in relief. He'll sail high there. He's had a control issue. That's for sure. I know he's only into his 3rd batter, but he's been down in a count on all 3 of them. There's throw to first, much better throw, and Aquistapace searching for the ball, and they'll just go pick it up. They only get a couple feet away from him. Everything's okay. And I don't think it's ever too early to start promoting the really big show, the talent show that raised a fundraiser for the United Way of Rutland County. It's hosted by Sam Garuso, and that takes place the 1st Saturday in November at the beautiful Paramount Theater. I believe it's always 7 o'clock start time. Sorelli will circle around, make the catch, set his feet, and throw the ball away. So that's a dead ball. That's going to be second base now. So 2 down, and an error. The runner will go to second base. Nope, they're going to give him 3rd. So he'll end up at third base with 2 outs. Now John Ferraro up now. He struck out looking back in the first inning. E6. Okay, there we go. That's a strike. So Mike Shirley's really filled my book up tonight. He's hit a batter, struck out a batter, walked a batter, gave up an apparent home run, part of an appeal play that got the runner out that apparently hit the home run. Just had the error and hit a triple and had an RBI and scored a run. So yeah, he's all over my book, and that's going to be a base hit through the hole, and I'll score the run. So that error comes back to become a run, as Martin will score, and Ferraro will have an RBI. He'll be at first base, and I'll bring up Dustin Wardwell, who popped up to the. Well, I had the catcher, and I don't remember that, but I got to go with it. So it goes 5-2 now. Woodstock trailing by 3. Rutland's lead down to 3, and each pitcher so far has given up a run. So you see the look in from Chad Ryan. That's hard hit, and that's going to be right to Sorelli. He'll stay down. There's the flip. There's the out. That's the inning. Woodstock with a run. Yeah, and we'll go into the bottom of the third with a 5-2 score. Rutland with the lead on St. Peter's Field. So Jeff Bloomer up. Zach Quistpace, Mike Sorelli 2 up. Bloomer had 2 RBIs on a double back in the first inning. He's looking at John Ferraro's first pitch for a strike. John Ferraro entering his third inning of work here for Woodstock. They're down just 3 at 5-2. It's very light rain falling right now on the field. That's down to the shortstop, and that played him right from the get-go. Yeah. He came back, stayed on his heels, and it'll be an error on the shortstop out there, and they'll put Bloomer at first base. Now Zach Quistpace, who grounded out to the first baseman, who flipped it to the pitcher for the 3-1 ground out up there. So Quistpace with the runner at first, and Bloomer will start his lead very conservatively. Now he'll work it to a 4-5 step lead now. He is being held on by Luke Wemple, first baseman for Woodstock, post 24. And yeah, that was a good looking pitch inside, but it was too far inside to be called a strike. So Quistpace, a lot of power at the plate, will be followed by Sorelli, who's got a triple in the ball game. That's got a chance to be a double play. There's 1, 2, so that'll be a double play, a 4-3 double play. And quickly 2 down now. Now Mike Sorelli up, like I said, he tripled and scored eventually back in the second inning. So that ball was hit out there to Brian Martin, who scooped it up. It was a hard hit ball too, so he was able to run over, tag the bag, and make the good throw to first. And that pitch will be high for a ball. Again, you see the catcher LaFlamme coming up very early on the pitch coming in, which gives you the umpire the illusion that it's going to be a high pitch. It's hard to steal a strike when your catcher's receiving a ball like that. It'll be a ball in the dirt, and the rain comes down a little bit harder now in a 2-0 count. We're in the top of the third. Bottom of the third, 5-2 Rutland with a lead. And it's getting hard to believe, but as far as my end of it, if it's not raining out or chances aren't good of rain, I'm going to go to Castleton and do the Fairhaven Rutland game. But then after that, I just have a 9-inning game here Sunday versus Bellows Falls, and then the doubleheader against Brattleboro. And my end of the deal's wrapped up. The tournament that you're held in Windsor, Vermont, for the Southern Division. And boy, I tell you what, the season just flew by. That'll be fouled out of play for a strike. Sorelli, remember he was down 2 strikes in the count last time when he hit that triple to the opposite field, actually to the right center field gap. Very impressive drive. And so Ferraro, the pitcher, goes breaking ball. Sorelli holds up on it. That looks like it's got a chance to be in the gap again. Oh, nice running catch out there by Allen. I'll tell you, that's a good job of tracking the ball. That'll be the third out, and we'll go to the fourth inning now. Rutland up by 3. This is the official Munger Vision staff meteorologist. Glenn Kreider took a look around the sky and said we're good to go the rest of the ball game. So we'll make it through at least, well, unless it gets mercy ruled, we'll make it through the 7. Hopefully just 5 tonight. And Chad Ryan starting probably his last inning of work here. So I was told by Mike Sorelli they're going to go a couple innings each pitcher tonight. And he'll be looking at Alex LaFlamme, who up for the second time. He'll never forget his first at bat, I'm sure. This time it might be a little less complicated, and no, he'll be safe. I'll be hit deep at the corner. The throw was short hop, picked up by a Quistabase. He tried to make the tag, and I'll give him an unofficial. I'll give him an infield hit. And what Flam did was hit a home run over the left field wall, and didn't touch home base, and was called out back in the first. So Luke Wemple up. He struck out by Sorelli when he was pitching. His first time looking at Chad Ryan. I'll tell you, good pitch right there by Chad Ryan. Dipping down fastball, a lot of velocity on it. And that'll be a swinging strike. On deck is the DH, Abe Allen. Carter came up thinking about firing down the first base from the catcher's position. Pitch was called a strike, and it's 0-2 now in the count. So after giving up that infield single, Chad Ryan comes back with 3 fastballs, gets the strikeout. That is his first strikeout since coming in the third inning to relieve Mike Sorelli, who had 2 strikeouts also, or three combined by the 2 pitchers so far in the ballgame for Post 31. It's 1 out and 1 on. And Abe Allen up. He popped up to Matt Merritt. Matt Merritt retired him on a pop fly. And there's a strike at the knee called. And again, you can kind of see in the background the umbrellas popped up. Here's the rain sprinkling down. Nothing too heavy duty right now. Very conservative lead over at first base. They'll throw over, and Quistabase will make the catch and give the ball back to Chad Ryan. Again, Rutland trying to get into the postseason. They take the top 4 teams from the south, have their tournament. Same thing up north, they have their tournament. Then the winner of the north and winner of the south get together. Oh, high fastball, well out of the strike zone. Going to go up and chase it down and give it a swing. Yeah, the southern tournament will be held at Windsor, and the northern tournament is at Addison, and then the state tournament is back at Windsor. Oh, just watched it come in. Strike 3. Beautiful pitch. Yeah, got him looking. So it's each pitch now with 2 strikeouts apiece. 4 for the ball game for Post 31, and Alex McCarthy up. So 2 out now for Woodstock. McCarthy grounded out to the pitcher, who was Sorelli at the time. And again, Woodstock only down 3 runs. It's 5-2 in the top of the 4th. Now you can see Carter try to pick it up and frame it and get it in the strike zone, steal a strike. Couldn't get it there, and it'll be ball 1. Alan Clark is the on-deck batter for Woodstock. They're able to extend the inning here. And they haven't had a lot of base runners, but when they've had them, they really haven't shown an inkling to steal, be aggressive on the base pass right now. And LaFlamme down there, again, only taking about a 4, maybe a 5-step lead off the bag at first. Yeah, hope you've been watching Sports Beat. Have Ernie D. Gregorio on right now. Former Celtic great, stopped in Rutland, had a chat with him. That's going to be a high swinging strike, and Quistabase trying to sweep back and make the tag. The runner will be there safe. So the count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike with 2 down. So that was kind of neat sitting down with Ernie D. Gregorio and talking to him. You can watch that Monday nights at 4:30, Tuesday nights at 5:30, and Thursday nights at 9. And you can also go on the computer and watch it. And that's going to be a base hit, and that'll be cut off. And Sereno will get the ball into Sorelli at the cutoff position. So runners at first and second for Woodstock, and a tying run coming to the plate. And I say that very seriously because we've already seen Woodstock with an apparent home run over the field tonight, or the left field wall. Alan Clark, he walked back in the 3rd. He was the first batter faced by Chad Ryan. So he had a tying run at the plate for Woodstock Post 24. And that will be a foul ball. And just another reminder that every Saturday at 4 o'clock on Channel 15, Tom Leipold, the program director, loads up the server with all the sports handed in this week and plays the games of the week. That starts at 4 o'clock, and they just run right through Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, early Saturday morning before the church services start on, Sunday morning before the church services start on Sunday. Oh, what a bend on that pitch. Oh my goodness. That ended up looking like an elbow. It was bent so much. So he'll go to an 0-2 count. And I don't know how he'll top that pitch. And so Chad Ryan from the stretch with the look in. Yeah, the runner's going to go to throw down to third, and they're going to call him safe. Yeah, from under the tag, and he will move up to also on the second end of that, the back end of that play. They stole second, so they will have second and third, and that's aggressive base running. Been looking for that. So 2 strikeouts in this inning and 2 singles. He's got runners at second and third now and trying to deal with Alan Clark, who's got a 1-2 count. Chad Ryan, a Mill River Union High School graduate. With a long stare in. Yeah, just couldn't decide what he wanted to throw there. See Ryan Carter behind the plate. Tell him to calm down, catch his breath. We'll go through the signs again. Oh yeah, big ball game there for Rutland right now. Woodstock mathematically eliminated from the playoff race, but they could play spoiler here. He got him to chase, and there's the tag. That's the inning. He struck out 3 that inning. Woodstock will stray in 2, and they'll still be down 5-2 to Rutland going in the bottom of the 4th. Yeah, and Rodolfi, the batter, will watch that first pitch, miss everything, and sail to the backstop for unobvious ball 1. It's going to be Rodolfi, Merritt, and then top of the order, Dorian, to up here in the bottom of the 4th for post 31. We've seen a lot of memorable performances this year by this particular post 31 squad, but again, you start looking at those 6 teams vying for the 4 playoff spots, a lot of parity. I mean, you got a real solid pitching staff out at Fairhaven. They play defense well. They do a lot of little things right. They bunt well. They execute hitting cutoff, moving the base runners along. But, I don't really... In years past, you could say, oh, my God, Bennington with McDonald pitching, or you can look at, Brattleboro with certain people, or Rutland, those years they had where they would win 16 in a row and stuff. But I don't just see a dominant team coming out of the South this year. It's just wide open. That's going to be down to second base and through Martin's legs, and there'll be an error on Martin. I'll put Rodolfi at first base. So Martin's turned to double play, and he's just committed an error in back-to-back innings. So again, when these 2 teams played up in Woodstock, it was 12-0 Rutland. It was a 5-inning mercy rule. And Matt Merritt up now, batting out that number 9 spot, and he had a RBI single back in the 2nd inning, and eventually came around to score a run also that inning. So like I said, he's gotten some big hits out of that number 9 spot this season. He was looking to bunt, pulled the bat back, had to duck down as the pitch was high and over the top of his head. And Rodolfi down at first base being held on by Wemple. Woodstock post 24 out there in the field defensively. John Ferraro on the mound. And yeah, that was a good pitch. Fouled it off for a strike down and inside location. Again, I also would like to thank St. Bridget's Church and Olivia Gowett. They had a concert, Music of the Sacred, over there recently, and gave me a call and invited me over and videotaped that. It was a wonderful night to listen to the beautiful soprano voice of Olivia Gowett, and also the accompaniment of her organist. Did a beautiful job, and things like that. It's on Channel 15. You get to watch it. So if you couldn't make it to St. Bridget's that night, it was kind of a warm night to be there, but you can sit at home in air conditioning and watch it on Channel 15. So we're all set. They'd asked for time. Everybody got resituated. John Ferraro was set. And Matt Merritt ready for the pitch at the plate. And tell you, he just keeps stroking that ball. It's going to be foul by just inches down that third baseline. They'll send Rodolfi back. But again, you can see how he got around on that inside pitch and ripped it down the third baseline. Just foul for strike 2. 1-2. To Matt Merritt. Like I said, Rob Dorian sitting in the on-deck circle, and then Chad Ryan will be behind him, barring a pinch hitter or anything like that. Oh, he straightened that out. Got it through the hole now and short. And that's going to keep the runner at second base. So first and second now on that single. Second single of the ball game for Matt Merritt. So Rodolfi, because of the error, was on base. He gets over to second base. So Dorian has it now with a first and second situation. He's grounded out to the pitcher and reached on an error. He's also got stolen base tonight. So Rutland looking for a big inning here. Got the makings of it. Top of the order, 2 on, nobody down. And Dorian with a shot to center field, and Allen's going back and going to make the grab. Rodolfi will tag, and he'll head to third base, and yeah, he's going to be held up. He's going to be there with no problem as they bobbled the throw coming into the shortstop. So a deep fly out for Dorian. A nice job by the center fielder, Alan Clark. He got back, tracked it, and made the leaping grab, and that will be the first out. But again, the other half of that is they were able to get the Rodolfi tagged up and over to third base. Chad Ryan has singled and struck out, so he's 1 for 2 tonight. And Ferraro looking into the dugout, and he'll take a little walk, get set on the rubber. First and third, we'll see if they'll send Merritt on the steal and try to draw the throw down. I don't think Woodstock will throw down if he does steal. Yeah, he's off and running. They tried to punt. They tried to lay it down, and Rodolfi breaking down from third base. It'll just go as a strike. So runners at the corners. They try to get a little fancy there with Chad Ryan. I don't know what the holdup is here. Well, they're calling him out, but that ball was in the screen. The catcher didn't catch the ball. That was caught off the screen. They're saying, yeah, they're saying he was out. They're saying the catcher caught the ball and he's out, but the ball clearly off the screen. We could see it 400 feet away. It was off the screen. Oh, the umpires, I tell you what, they're getting a lot of camera time tonight between the home run that wasn't a home run, the brief non-Lupinella type argument, but that was off the screen. It was, even I could see it. Yeah, George Bennett took care of everything. All right. And he got his name on TV. He asked me before every game to always mention him. We can do it in a positive way tonight. So yeah, Chad Ryan will step back in. That was a bunt back into the screen. The catcher, good effort by the catcher trying to sell that as being caught as the out. Whoa. Close pitch right there with a 1-1 count now and still the 1 out. Boy, I tell you, he has not been happy with the strike zone all night, Ferraro, and some of those pitches are right on the bubble of being a strike. Just not getting the call of his way tonight, and they check the count, and Woodstock thinking it's a 2-2 count, but it's a 2-1 count right now. The only strike was the fouled bunt. Yeah, see, they want to get in the pickle. They wanted him to make the throw. They want to get in that run down to let the run come across from third base, but I'll tell you what, those clouds from the west moving in. And we're only in the fourth. So Ferraro taking a lot of time here between pitches. He's getting caught up in the base running. Yeah, they got him in the pickle. Yeah, they're going to make the throw to third. That was the incorrect play, and they'll throw down. Yeah, they've got it stretched out now. Rodolfi up and over the top. Yeah, he's out regardless, but he just made it an exciting play at the plate. And yeah, he has to slide. It's not like Ray Fosse with Pete Rose in the All-Star game back in, I think it was 73, but yeah, you can't run through the catcher like that. I did tell you, it's a feisty game tonight. As we'll pixelate and go in, but that really wasn't a well-executed pickle. But I tell you, I mean, we're,
Look at our catcher, see what happens. You can pick yourself up.
so Rodolphe trying to go through the catcher is out. It's not like they're going to get multiple outs. He's just out and that's it. So, I mean, he's out and that's the end of the play. There's really not much to argue there. Joe not a real mean-spirited guy. I mean, there's, you know, you watch professional baseball and you can, you know, put your shoulder down and plow through people. And, you know, a lot of these youngsters, I'm not making fun of anybody, just don't know the rule. You got to slide. Yeah, so Chad Ryan's still up at the plate. There's 2 down now. And Ferraro's been fired up all night out there on the mound. Doesn't like the strike zone. Didn't like the out at home base on the missed tag of the plate. Didn't like the catcher being ran into. He's having an emotional night tonight. What he's got to do is settle down. He's got 2 outs. He's got the 3rd out right there at the plate. And just take care of business himself, and he got out of the thing without any damage being done. Rodolphe going up over the top. Seems like Chad Ryan's been up forever. He's set, and he'll pop it up, and this is going to be playable. This is going to be caught. That's the inning, and again, adventurous inning. He'll stay 5-2 Rutland going into the 5th. Zach Acquistapace, big number 17, was back to you. He is going to be the 3rd pitcher used tonight by post 31, and he's going to be looking at the number 9 hitter, Brian Martin. He reached on a fielder's choice, came around to score on an error. And then the top of the order sitting on deck, and Wetzel, then Ferraro due up. Been a feisty one tonight from St. Peter's Field. And we got a lot of defensive changes to talk about. We'll start behind the plate with the catcher. Mitch Blair is the catcher now. Ryan Carter has gone to play first base defensively. Matt Merritt stays at second. Chad Ryan, who started the game at short, then pitched 2 innings back at short now. Mike Sorelli, who started the game as a pitcher. The starting pitcher is over at 3rd base now. He's also played shortstop. Leaping Joe Rodolphe's over in right field. Then that is Robbie Dorian in center and Jeff Bloomer now in left field. That pitch will miss, and they'll go to a 3-1 count. So we're in the 5th, scheduled for 7, and much closer than anybody would have anticipated. 5-2 right now, Rutland with a 3-run lead. And he'll walk the first batter he faced. Now that's what Ryan did, Chad Ryan did. It hit for the first batter he faced. So just review the night. The first batter faced by Sorelli got hit by a pitch. The first batter Chad Ryan faced, he walked, and the first batter Zach Acquistapace faced, he walked. So not good starts for any of the 3 pitchers tonight to the first batter they faced in the ball game. Now Wetzel up. He's been hit by a pitch and scored, and he has popped up to the shortstop. So Zach Acquistapace will now pitch from the stretch, and that's his soft move. He has a very good move to first base when he wants to flex his muscles out there. And as always, I tell you, his dad's Dr. Frank Acquistapace, the best-looking optometrist in Rutland. He'll never admit it, but we went to grade school together, and it's probably good on his behalf to keep his reputation intact. I never admit to that. Oh, he was a smart guy back then. Good athlete. Frank was an awful good athlete. Not saying he isn't anymore, but he probably did more athletic things back then. Oh, good pitch. Yeah, when Zach's a streaky guy. He can walk 3 in a row and then strike out 6 in a row. I mean, when he finds it, he finds it. And when he loses it, he loses it. I'm hoping he finds it right here and mows him right through here. So we're in the 5th, getting dark out. Always a threat of rain. Good pitch. Same location, same result. 1-2 to count. Like I said, he said he is one of the pitchers for the doubleheader in Windsor on Saturday. He didn't know first or second game, but boy, they're all big ball games now. And boy, they'll throw down and he'll run her back safe. That's a strikeout for Acquistapace. So he has a walk and a strikeout. Wetzel just overpowered by the fastball. Now Ferraro up. He struck out looking in the first inning, and then he had an RBI single back in the third. So he's 1 for 2 in the ball game tonight. Oh, and that's going to be on the line to Rodolfo. He took a step in, and he'll make the adjustment, get the catch on a sinking line drive for the second out here of the 5th inning. Yeah, nice adjustment as he initially took the first step in and then was able to glide back and make the grab. Very athletic anyways, Rodolfo is, like I've said many times before. Good, outstanding soccer player. Very, very, very good hockey player, ice hockey player. And as you can tell, we've seen in his pitching performance this season and also in his fielding play right there, very, very good baseball player. So Dustin Wardwell up, and I tell ya, big running lead down there, and almost were able to pick him off from first base. From the catcher spot at first base. The pitch was a ball, by the way. So Wardwell, who's 0 for 2 tonight, got 2 down and a runner at first. And that looks to be playable by Rodolfo. He'll come in, and that's the inning. So 4 batters faced. He'll get 1 stranded, and we'll have a 5-2 game, Rutland with the lead going into the bottom of the 5th. So the bottom of the 5th, we're going to be looking at Aaron Bloomer, then I believe I'll have to wait and see. Yeah, it is going to be Ryan Carter on deck. That ball will be hit down to third base. Wardwell will bobble. It'll be foul ball, so it'll be strike 1 on that foul ball down the third baseline. Bloomer will head back in. Yeah, I have in the book Aaron Bloomer, Ryan Carter, Jeff Bloomer due up. They were doing some paperwork over there with the umpire, like they had a pinch hitter or a change in the lineup coming up. So we'll have to wait and see. But I can see Ryan on deck. So that is John Ferraro, number 11. He started the game, still out there, and that's going to be hit down to shortstop, and he'll make the scoop, fire, and get the out. So he'll have a 6-3 ground out to start things off here in the bottom of the 5th. Woodstock down. It's just 5-2. You would kind of get the feeling that feels like the game's about 10-0 right now. It isn't. It's just a 3-run ball game. It's right there. So Ryan Carter up. He has struck out and flied out. Struck out in the first and then flied out to right field. Bases are clean right now with 1 out. And that is going to be, looks to be playable to the right field side. He gives a chase and makes a venture out of it. He'll make the little dive, make the catch. And there's 2 down now, so that's twice Ryan's flied out to the right field tonight. And Jeff Bloomer, yeah, so it's the 3, it's Bloomer, Carter, Bloomer. That's the 3 I had in the book. That's the 3 that are coming to the plate. And a Quistapase on deck in case Jeff Bloomer can extend it to another batter. Bloomer has a double and resulted in 2 RBIs coming in. Then he reached on an error. As there's some debris on the field there. And George Bennett, or Hawkeye out there, saw it, got it, and we're good to go now. So Jeff Bloomer will watch that one come inside, go to the backstop. Obviously ball 1. Now Rutland scored 2 in the first, 3 in the second, and then have been shut out in the third and the fourth, and are on their way being shot here in the 5th. This is against a Woodstock team that they had mercy ruled up in Woodstock earlier in the season. But a very generous strike right there. Tonight wears on, the strike zone expands. It'll be a 1-1 count now. I think so. That's going to be the third base. Ate him up. Yeah, he came in on the ball, took a hop, went over the top of him, and that'll end up with the base runner Bloomer now at first base with 2 down. He must want to get home and watch Channel 15. He's just calling everything a strike now. So, and that will bring up a Quistapase after that error. Quistapase grounded out 3-1 and then hit into a double play. So he's officially 0 for 2 tonight. And Ferraro from the stretch with the curveball won't get the call this time as it wraps itself around the plate and it'll be ball 1. And if they've done their scouting report on Quistapase, I know his weakness is breaking balls. Has an awful time handling a curveball. That's the fastball. That could be the inning, and they're going to just take it, and that's it. That's the inning. We'll go to the 6-5-2 Rutland over Woodstock, post 24. So Quistapase will be his final inning of work, as each pitcher's gone 2 innings tonight. It was Sorelli, Ryan, and now Quistapase. He'll be looking at the catcher, Alex LaFlamme, out there. LaFlamme, look at that, strike one. He is the young man who cleared the left field wall with an apparent home run, but forgot to touch home base and was called out. And that ended the first inning, and things just got more interesting as night went along. That's a bunt, hard charge. Sorelli on the throw. We'll never get him. Yeah, you don't see enough of that nowadays, where they'll check and see where the corners are playing. And boy, I thought at first he bunted it way too hard, but he'll be on base with that bunt single. So Alex Brand's up for the first time tonight. He's hitting in Wempel's spot. So Quistapase back to the stretch. Both of his innings, the leadoff batters have reached base. Yeah, Wempel had struck out twice. Once against Sorelli, and then once against Ryan, and then the tag applied and the runner back safe. That's Ryan Carter still over there at first base defensively. Matt Merritt stays at second. Chad Ryan at shortstop. Mike Sorelli at third. Rodolfi, Dorian, and Bloomer, the outfield for Rutland. Mitch Blair behind the dish, and that's going to be high for a ball. And of course, like I mentioned, Zach Quistapase on the mound. They're right in the middle of the order, right where they want to be. They have Brand up there, and then Abe Allen due up next. Unless they go to a pinch hitter, and we'll have to wait and see. Nope, up again high, and can't get him to offer at it, and he'll go down 3 balls, no strikes. If he walks him, that'll put the tying run at the plate in Abe Allen. Like I said, kind of a very relaxed atmosphere here from Post 31's perspective. Treating it like more like a non-league scrimmage than a league game that they got to win. They're up by only 3 runs, and they get a strike there. And they've been shut out offensively the last 3 innings. So go to a 3-1 count now to Brand. Get Mitch Blair in his second inning of work behind the plate. Got a knee problem this year bothering him. Yeah, and strike 2. Brand doesn't agree with the call, but boy, I tell you, it's looking like down the pipe to me. And so now back to a full count after being up 3 balls, no strikes. And a Quistapase. Oh. Tell ya, good eye, but awful tight pitch to take with 2 strikes. He'll get the walk. Yeah, Abe Allen now represents the tying run at the plate. Yeah, in the top of the 6th, Woodstock with nobody down, 2 on, looking for a big inning here. Again, they are. This would be a devastating loss for Rutland if they were to fall behind here and lose this ball game. From a perspective, devastating from a perspective of the standings for the playoffs. There's the bunt. He's going to go to third, and he threw it away. Yeah. That's going to allow at least one run. He'll be backed up by Bloomer. The throw will come in, and and there you go. Second and third, 5-3 now. Yeah, and I'm not sure why Quistapase lobbed the ball over, but he did. Not only that, he'll put the tying run down at second base now. And that'll bring up Alex McCarthy, or Alex McCarthy's due up, whether or not he actually comes to the plate. Yeah, McCarthy is coming up, and see Mitch Blair coming out to talk to Zach Quistapase. So Woodstock just 1 hit away from getting this thing all tied up on Rutland's home field. And a must-win for Rutland. Woodstock coming in with absolutely nothing to lose. They are eliminated mathematically from the postseason. This is also a Woodstock team that lost in 5 innings in a mercy rule to Rutland on Woodstock's home field. Again, it's been a very non-intense, lackadaisical approach to the ballgame feeling coming from the dugout of Post 31 tonight. And it's hard to find that intensity switch. You usually can't turn it on and off. It's something you got to be gyrating with right from the get-go, or pick up momentum in the middle of the game and get. But right now, Rutland very flat, to be quite honest with you. I don't know why it's a balk, but they're hollering it is. And I mean, I know you got to steal one now and then, but my gosh, that's not remotely a balk. Ah, there it is. There's the base hit, and it's going to drop in. And we're going to have a tie ball game just like that, 5-5. And they're going to send the runner to second, and he will be in there in a 5-5 ball game. Woodstock coming through here in the 6th. And I tell you, you could feel it. Alan Clark up now with nobody out and a go-ahead run at second base. And here comes Coach Tony Sorelli to talk to Zach Aquistapace. On to relieve Aquistapace. Not second guessing, it's just my opinion, which means nothing, but I just had to feel before the start of the ball game that post 31 just kind of looking like this as a non-league scrimmage type game. Not a lot of respect out there for Woodstock, and here they are on the verge of losing the lead right now. The go-ahead run down at second base with nobody out for Woodstock. They've got the game tied up at 5 on St. Peter's Field, post 31's home field. Woodstock mathematically already eliminated from the playoffs, already been beaten by Rutland once, mercy ruled actually, and Rutland just let them hang around, just basically like having a big lollipop tonight. They just came in and thought they're going to breeze through the night, and you just can't do that when you're in a hunt for a playoff position at this level of baseball. This isn't T-ball. I believe you come in with the intensity, the ferocity. You don't look at the records. You don't look at the opponent. You come in and you do the hardest, best lineup you can, the hardest, best run scoring, pressure on them, hitting, best pitching you can throw at them. Then if you bury them in 4 or 5 innings, you want to start relaxing stuff. That's up to you, but you got to win the game at this level. That's the first thing. And I never got that impression that was even on their mind that they could be in a 5-5 game in the top of the 6th with Woodstock with the go-ahead run down at second base. And again, this would be a huge blow for Rutland as far as their drive for the playoffs. Not saying they wouldn't make the playoffs, but with the schedule they have to go to Fairhaven this week. They have to go to Windsor for a doubleheader. They have to play Bellows Falls here. They have to play doubleheader with Brattleboro. Those are all teams that are in the hunt for the top 4 spots. You win the games you're supposed to win at home, and just don't get that impression tonight. I don't know. I would have approached it differently. Not that it really matters what I think. Now, Rutland hasn't lost this game yet either, but I'm just saying they put themselves in a very stressful situation that probably should have never existed. Merritt, in his 3rd appearance of pitching overall in the entire year from high school to here. Like I said, they wanted to throw strikes. They wanted to put the ball across the plate, not strike outs, but strikes to the point where the ball's put into play, and you can let your fielders make the play. That's going to be Triller to first. There's the out. The runner, though, moves over to third base. So the go-ahead run at third base with less than 2 down. And Brian Martin up. He has reached on a fielder's choice and walked. And they're going to have Mayhew bat for him. So Brendan Mayhew comes up to pinch hit. And he could give Woodstock the lead with a fly ball, a slow ground hit ball, a base hit, a wild pitch pass ball, a deep enough pop fly. Oh yeah, Woodstock all the way through the game was just down a couple, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4 runs at the most, and now they got a 5-5 game, and a go-ahead run sitting over there at third base. And it's not like they are resilient, but it's more post 31's left this door open for him. Boy, Carter looking for it, because if he makes this grab, the runner won't be able to move up. There it is. See, yeah, he's looking. Now Ryan's intense. So there's 2 outs. That's a big out right there. 2 down now. Top of the order, Duop Wetzel. He has been hit by a pitch. Fly it out to the shortstop and struck out. So Merritt trying to come on and do another good job in relief like we saw the other day here. Wetzel in a position, like I said, to give his team the lead. That's through the 5-hole. Here comes the go-ahead run, and he's going to score. And Woodstock will take the lead 6-5. Yeah, 4 runs here in the 6th, and they've got a 6-5 lead at St. Peter's Field over post 31. So the base is clear now, and the damage very significant this inning. Now, well, let's see if this is a wake-up call to the post 31, not just the players, the coaching staff. Now, Legion Ball, you know, I hate to say it, yeah, it's to make friends and play the best you can and all that good stuff. Legion Ball is a huge commitment. It's your parents' whole summer. It's your kids' whole summer. Tons of travel at $4 a gallon. And I got to be quite honest with you, at this level, you are here to win ball games. So Matt Merritt now looking for that third out, and 3 balls, no strikes, and that will be called a strike. I got a little home cooking there, 3 balls, 1 strike. So 6-5 Woodstock. Again, they acted like the game was over at 5-2. And this is after Woodstock had a first inning home run taken away on an appeal that the batter, LaFlamme, hit over the wall and then missed home base coming in to, on his home run trot. Woodstock came in looking to make a statement to knock off a playoff team. And they are now at 6-5 in the top of the 6th, scheduled for 7. Check swing popped up, and will it be playable? Mitch Blair called off by Merritt. He'll make the catch, but damage done. 6-5 Woodstock going in the bottom of the 6th. Starting pitcher John Ferraro now in a position to get the win here on the road against Rutland. 6-5 bottom of the 6th. He's going to be looking at Sorelli, Rodolfi, and Merritt due up. We'll see if there's any pinch hitters coming in. Ryan Carter in the bullpen warming up. Apparently going to pitch the 7th. But Rutland got to get this thing at least tied up. And that'll be out of everybody's reach for a foul ball strike. So in a game that has just about had everything you could imagine happen in it, Woodstock looking for the big upset. Coming in with the 1 win. They come in at 1-13 on the season. And Rutland in a position to enhance their playoff position where they could even finish as high as number 1, number 2. And just didn't approach the game intense at all tonight. Yeah. Like I said, right now in the bottom of the 6th, they're looking just for the tie right now to worry about the 7th and 8th and 9th and whatever happens. And that's going to be the shortstop, and that'll be another error. Well, I tell you, one thing Woodstock has had, and that's been a problem fielding the ball. I have to do a count here, but that is several errors tonight on, I don't want to say routine ground balls, but ground balls where you could make the play. And like I said, I'm an unofficial book. Oh, he has 4 errors. It seemed like a lot more. Now Rodolfi up with Sorelli being held on at first base. And who would have thought in the bottom of the 6th, Rutland would be scrapping for a run to tie the ball game up. And there it is. They're playing a little small ball. Yeah, get the sure out. Make the smart play. And there is the out at first. They do get the run over in scoring position. Sorelli's at second. And a nice sacrifice by Rodolfi. And now Merritt up. He's 2 for 2. He's had an RBI single and scored a run back in the 2nd, and he's had a single and a stolen base in the 4th. So from the stretch with the tying run at 2nd, that'll be high for a ball. You know, start looking at the book, Ferraro really hasn't, other than the 2nd inning, gone deep into innings. He doesn't have a high pitch count right now. Really scheduled for 7. He's in the 6th with his team up 6-5 after that 4-run top of the 6th. Nice breaking ball. Yeah, had the pitcher or the hitter flinching back away from it, and then it broke over the plate for the strike to Merritt. Top of the order, Dorian on deck. They got the tying run, and Sorelli reached on the air down at second base for post 31. And that's going to be the backstop, and that's another area that they've had a lot of problems in, wild pitches past balls. So you take those, not little mistakes, but the errors and all the misplayed pitcher-catcher balls, and that one I got to give him a wild pitch on. There's been 3 passed balls tonight, so Sorelli ends up at third base, tying run at third base now. And again, that changes everything. So Ferraro came into this inning with the lead, and he's on the verge of giving it, well, at least in a tying situation right here. That was a good stop by LaFlamme. Not picturesque. He didn't get down on the knees and make his body big, but he reached down with a glove like an infielder and scooped it, and he got the job done. There's one out, runner at third. Both 31 in quite the dogfight tonight. And that's going to be the third, and yeah, he'll be safe, and yeah, they'll get the tag there. So the only place you want to hit the ball, and that was the third base on the grounder. They almost turned to double play. So 2 outs now, runner at third, and Rob Dorian up. Rob's reached on an error tonight, and other than that, he's grounded out to the pitcher and flied out to center field. That was a deep fly out to center field. Well, he's a clutch player, and this is a big clutch moment right now, looking for the tie, and it's going to be high for a ball. On deck will be Chad Ryan, as Rutland's gotten it around to the top of the order here in the bottom of the 6th, down 6-5 to Woodstock post 24. And a good eye right there will make it ball 2. Well, if you had to be guessing, you think he'd be sitting on a fastball right now with that 2-0 count. Oh my goodness. Well, he got the fastball, and that was almost to Clarendon, but he pulled it back in and got the called strike somehow on that. Expanding strike zone as the game goes along here. Yeah, and that went up the third baseline, and very wisely, Sorelli will stay at third base. As everybody gets back into position again, just to recount, we're in the bottom of 6. 6-5, Woodstock would lead Rutland down. Man down at third base, 2 down, and Rob Dorian at the plate in a 3-ball, 1-strike count. Personally, I love to greenlight a player of his instincts right here if it's in the strike zone. They will be fouled out. Well, full count. So full count with that runner down at third base. So after Sorelli got on with the error, they sacrificed him. Nice bunt by Rodolfi, got him to second. Then on the ground ball, on a wild pitch, they got him to third base, and now he's been hung out there for a while. Oh, nice pitch, strike 3. They'll strand him at third base. Woodstock coming up the top of the 7th, up 1 over Rutland. So he did not score in that 6th inning to tie it up or take the lead. They come back with Matt Merritt here in the top of the 7th. And John Ferraro, the pitcher, at the plate. Like I said, he's in a position to win this ball game. Struck out looking at strike 3 in the 1st inning. He had a single and an RBI in the 3rd, and then lined out to the right fielder his last at bat, which was Joe Rodolfi, of course. And that's going to be chased down by Sorelli. Nope, he's going to just hit it in the right spot. And tell you, a good set of wheels over there by some of the fans. Getting up and moving all the way. So Rutland in a position nobody ever thought they would be in tonight against Woodstock, down 6-5 in the 7th. Needing to hold the deficit here to 1 run. As they'll have the number 2, 3, 4 batters coming up in the bottom of the 7th. And Matt Merritt from the full windup. That's a foul ball. He hung that curveball up on the inside corner, and Ferraro turned on it and just ripped it foul down the third baseline. Jeff Bloomer will pick it up, get the ball back into play, and we'll set that 1-2 count. Well, there was something different in the air from the start of the ball game. From the home run that was not a home run to ooh. That's a very tough pitch to take with 2 strikes and batter. I got to say, I thought was completely fooled on that sequencing. Now Matt Merritt still with a 2-2 count here. Count in his favor, so he wants to come back with 4 pitch. I got him, strike 3. Matt Merritt with a big strikeout. So Ferraro will go down looking at strike 3 for the 2nd time this evening. Now bring up Dustin Wardwell. And he's popped out to the catcher, Ryan Carter, hit into a force out, and then lined out to Joe Rodolfi. Where on a line drive, Joe Rodolfi had a nice adjustment to him, made the catch out in right field. So Merritt with a little heat right there, came up high and tight for a ball. I said this is his third relief appearance of the season. He came in to bail out Pace there in the 6th. Yeah, he'll miss there and be down 2 balls, no strikes. And Alex LaFlamme, the on-deck batter for Woodstock, post 24. That's lifted and hooking toward the concession stands and over the fence onto St. Joseph Avenue and out of play. Now, when Rutland had that 5-2 lead, you kind of felt them put the coaster on and were acting like they had a 10-run lead. Woodstock, very intense, looking for the big upset, came back and put 4 runs on the board in the 6th, have that 6-5 lead right now. Matt Merritt with a 2-1 count. That's going to be down to Sorelli. Oh, he'll make a play from the knee, the throw, and got him. Nice job by Sorelli at third base, who was the starting pitcher tonight. He's in a no decision right now as far as the ball game goes. Yeah, LaFlamme, you got to respect his power. He cleared the left field wall. Just forgot to touch all the bases on the home run trot. Ended up toward the football bleachers in the end zone here. Actually, LaFlamme's ball got in the end zone more than MSJ's football offense did this year. And speaking of which, yeah, I've had a lot of people ask me, I have no idea if there's going to be football to cover at MSJ this year. They have 11 players right now. I guess they don't have a hockey coach for the boys team right now either. And that will be a short curveball. That'll be a ball. 1-1 to count. So Matt Merritt being careful with LaFlamme. As Brands is the on-deck hitter for Woodstock. Again, post 31, not that they want to be down a run, but if they had to be down a run coming up in the bottom of the 7th, they're at the number 2, 3, 4 spot in the order. So if they're going to do it, they're at the place in the batting order that you'd want to be in. That's the shortstop and knocked down, and that's going to be an error. He should eat it. Yep, just eat the ball. Don't compound the problem. Yep. That was a hard hit shot, and they would love to get a pad run right now. Now, Alex Brand walked and scored the 2nd run of the 6th inning in that 4-run 6. And the runner will be held on down at first base by Ryan Carter defensively. Mitch Blair behind the plate. And the pitch on the way will be too far inside for a ball. It was a little exaggerated, the jump back, but it was inside and it was a ball. And Abe Allen, the on-deck batter. And that, ooh, didn't get the call there, and it'll be ball 2. I went ooh because that has been a strike throughout the night on different times of the night. Yeah, you know, I get in a lot of trouble right here in the 7th, down a run already. The throw to first, runner back safe. I had to stop with the camera there. I'm sorry about that. A mosquito going in my ear. And there's a lot of space in there to travel around once you get in there, so I had to get them out. Oh, who would ever thought? Well, you know, actually walking around the dugouts before the start of the game, getting my lineup, so I just had that feel. That pitch called a strike. The runner fake going to go back to first base, and we'll have a 2-1 count now. Now Woodstock with a run in the 1st, a run in the 3rd, and 4 in the 6th. Rutland offensively with a run in the 2nd, or no, let's start it over again. 2 runs in the 1st, 3 in the 2nd, then got shut out in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th inning. And he'll go to a 3-ball. 1-strike count now. This would push a runner in a scoring position if he ends up with the walk. And again, if you're guessing here for pitches, you got to be thinking fastball. And you got to take it 1 pitch at a time if you're Matt Merritt. He did. He threw the fastball and got the strike. And it was a good placement, too. Outside corner, low. Full count, 2 down. Runner will be off and going on the pitch. Yeah. I know right now, if I'm the catcher, I'm trying to get my message to the pitcher. You've got control of the third out right here. Don't lose focus. Focus right here on the batter. And he's back safe, so you could see the walking lead that LaFlamme was trying to get. Okay, got the mosquito finally. Yeah, and then again, taking an awful long time on the mound. The batter will ask for time, be granted time, and step out. And of course, that's Brands up there. Number 38, he came in a couple of innings ago, got 1 at bat. He's been in the field defensively and set now to step back in from the right side of the box, and the pitch coming from Merritt. Oh, tough one to take, but it will be ball 4, and that will push the runner down to second base. And again, how long do you let this go on now? And Abe Allen up. Yeah, he reached on an error on the pitcher. What at the time was a Quista pace. And so Woodstock trying to get an insurance run, a pad run here in the top of the 7th. And he went, yeah. Whether or not it was in the strike zone, I do not know, but they're saying that he committed to the swing, and that'll be strike 1. So he'll start him off with the breaking ball right there. Yeah, you got McCarthy on deck. He delivered one of the big hits in that 4-run 6. And that's going to be, yeah, never got far away from Mitch Blair, but again, with that bad knee, and you can see him struggling with the runners move up to second and third, and boy, would a base hit be crushing right here. Yeah, the go-ahead run was scored on a wild pitch. So on a 1-1 count, he'll go back to the full windup now. Runners at second and third, and that'll be high for ball 2. Oh, Rutland's made this very hard on them and their fans tonight. Oh, he got to go up high, and that's going to be nice scoop throw, and got him. So Rutland coming up, needing 1 to tie, 2 to win, and they'll be at the number 2, 3, 4 spot in the order. Chad Ryan, Bloomer, and then Carter. So John Ferraro looking for the win on the road. He's going to be looking at Ryan, Chad Ryan, Aaron Bloomer, Ryan Carter. That's the third base. There's the throw, and there's 1 out. 1 pitch, 1 down. Woodstock 2 away from what would have to be considered the upset of the season here. At least to Post 31 fans. Aaron Bloomer up now. He's walked and grounded out twice. Again, Rutland chasing both Fairhaven and Brattleboro in the standings and trying to keep just a step ahead of Bellows Falls, Bennington, and Hartford, and certainly not helping their cause. And Ferraro, like I said, hasn't really gone deep into the innings other than that second inning, and he's not, I wouldn't call him anywhere near excessively high in a pitch count. And there's another strike, and all of a sudden, everything just flowing for him out there. He's got an 0-2 count on Aaron Bloomer. So 1-13 Woodstock. Looking for their second win of the season, and that'll be a ball. So John Ferraro with Alex LaFlamme the battery. From the full windup, pitch on the way will drop off the table and become ball 2. So 2-2 count to Aaron Bloomer. Tell you, 2 strikes. You got to be real defensive, especially here in the 7th, down a run. Got him. Stop. Drop. Strike 3. He timed. He locates the ball. He'll throw down and just get him. Yeah. So 2 outs now for Post 31. There'll be a strikeout 2-3 on the putout, and then Ryan Carter up. He is struck out and flied out to right field twice tonight. And all you're looking for right now is a base hit to extend the ball game. And Jeff Bloomer, if they can do it, will be the on-deck batter. Ryan Carter, kind of hitter though that can take it out of the yard on one swing of the bat here. I know it's on his mind, but right now they're just looking more for a base runner. And that will come, if anything, too far inside by a couple inches. You can see the reaction by Ferraro. Long stare in. Too long a stare in for Carter. He'll ask for time to step back out. Again, Rutland has been shut out offensively the last 4 innings. 0 in the fourth, 0 in the third, 0 in the fourth, 0 in the fifth, 0 in the sixth, and down to the last out of the ball game right now. And so Ferraro now will go to 2 balls and no strikes. Yeah, I mean, I understand he has to be careful to a batter as dangerous as Ryan Carter. But you also don't want to open the door up for a rally right here. And he'll get the strike called on a good pitch inside corner at the knee. 2 balls, 1 strike. And Ryan Carter defensively tonight started out behind the plate at the catcher's spot and moved to first base. And he's going to be looking at strike 2. So 2-2 the count, and Carter will step back out on that curveball. Didn't agree with the call, or maybe upset with himself at not reacting to it. But 2-2 the count, 2 down, and nobody on base. 6-5 Woodstock, 1 strike away from getting the win on the road over Rutland. And just fouls it off the end of the bat, stay alive. Oh yeah, this would be a huge upset. This just puts more pressure on the team going to Fairhaven to play, to Windsor to play. And that will be caught for the game's final out as he'll back up, and it's in play, and that's the ballgame. And Woodstock will come up with their 2nd win of the year, and what would be a big upset. 6-5. Woodstock with a 4-run, 6th inning to take the lead. And again, when it was 5-2 Rutland, they just had the sense that they're up by 10 or 12 runs, and Woodstock, a resilient group, will come back and get the win on Post 31's home field. And what could be a big blow to their playoff drive right now. So congratulations to Woodstock. Boy, back to the drawing board for Post 31. And Munger Vision saying adios from St. Peter's Field.